really quick because I had something happen to me today, which I think is a valuable life lesson. And I didn't want to forget it just in case it happens to me again, which I'm sure it will. But when it comes to adversity, right, we need to remember that no doesn't mean not never. So I pitched a location, which I'm not going to say Orange Theory, about hosting a class, right? A body positive class here in my local community. And while the owner was like, okay, cool, let's do it, when it came to speaking to the manager, who, let's be honest, she's not body positive, right? She was like, "Oh, I don't think it's going to be a good idea because unless you can guarantee that you're going to bring in people, I don't want to do it. It's not worth my time or money." Literally, that's how she came out the gate. So I was thinking to myself, like, Monique, honestly, what you could do is you could be all up in your feelings and you can get real hood with her right now and be like, well, I talked to the owner, but I said, no, don't say that. Just be like, thank you so much, which I did. I said, oh, okay, thank you so much. If you ever have any, community events in the future, please let me know. And I'll definitely be sure to share it with my community as my purpose, right, is to help different body types feel comfortable in different settings. She was like, well, if you want to come in, girl. So I'm saying all this to say that sometimes when adversity hits us in the face, we got to know how are we going to react to that? Are we going to react negatively? Which I'll be honest, part of me was like, girl. But then I said, no, be nice, be cordial. And I even followed up with a thank you email, just thanking them for my time, for their time. And the reason why I did that, because no doesn't mean never. And you never know that when somebody might need something, they'll be like, oh, you know what? Remember that girl Monique? She's the one who called me and she said that she wanted to do this. And now that sales are slow, they want to try to have a body positive class. So guess who they're going to call? Probably me. Now, the choice is going to be mine whether I walk through the door, say yes, or if I say no, right? Now, at that point, it's my opportunity to decide how I'm going to handle it. But so many times, y'all, I honestly could have let that no be negative and just been like, you know what? Nothing I'm doing is working out. No, this is just not working. And had a total negative attitude. But honestly, I wrote their information down and I was like, okay, cool. I'll follow up later. So we cannot let negativity and adversity stop us from where we want to go. So many of us have so many great ideas and there's so many great things that we want to do, but then we let that negativity stop us. And I'm here to tell you, you can't do that. I'm 45 years old, right? When the person told me when I wanted to teach fitness 5 years ago that I was too fat, when she told me I was honestly too black, and nobody was going to come and work out with me, I could have said, okay, no, but I didn't care. I kept it moving, right? We cannot let that no stop us because if we let that no stop us, that could be stopping us from our greatness. I'm just saying, like, I don't know who needed to hear that, but at this point in our lives, we gotta keep going, right? There's some dream, there's some desire that you have. I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you to go for it. Even when it looks like it's probably not gonna happen, you gotta keep pushing, keep going for it because that no could just be no, not now, but it could be like, oh, 3 months from now, it's a yes. And then the other question is gonna be, are you prepared when they say yes? That's another thing because I'll be honest with you, when I started my business, I honestly wasn't all that prepared to start, but I jumped out there. I'm glad that I did, but I'm just like, how could I have been prepared? Maybe I could have gone to some more classes. Maybe I could have like asked somebody else. Humble yourself, man. Like honestly, that's the one piece of advice I think I want to give a lot of business owners is that even people humble yourself because we don't know everything. And how are you going to know something is if you ask. We got to ask somebody, right? Especially if there's something that you don't know. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm trying to host an event and I was like, "Hey, I'm not too sure of how to get engagement. So let me ask." Right? Let me ask somebody else like what did they do? And the person gave me some really great advice. They were like, "Hey, do a do a Facebook group and inside of the Facebook group you can go ahead and you can start, put in information about the event. You can also just start like really talking about what you're doing because how would they know unless you start talking about it?" I was like, yo, great idea. Great idea. This is also why we got to start networking amongst each other. There's going to be so many people that are going to hate on you. And if they hate on you, keep it moving, right? Just keep it pushing. So many people are going to try to tear you down. It could even be your family. But honestly, keep it pushing, keep it moving because you're special. There is something that you have that other people they need. But how are they ever going to get it if we're always knocked down every single time that somebody tells us no? If I had a dollar for every single time somebody told me no, okay? Honestly, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in my own home, right? I wouldn't, my business failed. I could have been like, oh my God, I'm such a failure. And honestly, I did feel like, man, but no, I took a minute, dusted my shoulders off, and I kept it moving because I really do believe that I have a purpose. And I know that you have a purpose, right? So I don't know who needed to hear that tonight, but we cannot let these no's stop us. We can't let the adversity that people try to give you stop us. We cannot let that shade, because y'all already know, okay? People be coming and trying to hit you with the shady boots, like, oh, you trying to do that? Girl, let me tell you something. You know what you know, and that's all that matters. You know what you know, and that's all that matters. Don't let anybody try to tell you different. If there's something that you know and you know it hands down and you know it could be good and beneficial to somebody else, that's your calling, right? I know this lady and she's a great seamstress and she was like, "Oh my God, I felt like nobody needed to know, how to be a seamstress." And I was like, "Girl, I need a seamstress all the time." And I said, "That's amazing." And she said, "I really felt like, I was worthless." I said, "Why? You're a seamstress. Those little minute things that we think is nothing, those things are bomb." And for you moms and you dads out there, let me tell you something. Our kids are watching. They're watching us. So we cannot continue to walk around with our head like, "Oh my God, I need money. Oh my God, I da da da." No, mm-mm. Raise your head, walk high, walk tall, right? And walk in your greatness because we have got to show the younger generation that we have purpose and we have value. If they don't see it from us, who are they going to see it from? And no shade off of YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, but who are they going to see it from? The Kardashians? I mean, that's fine and everything, but like, no, it's us. Like, we're real people. We go to work every single day, right? We make sure them bills get paid every single day. We make sure these lights is on. We make sure these kids eat. So we got to show them that we are more than just a paycheck, that we're more than just the person that supplies. We also have purpose. And last point to my over 40 crew. Hello? Hello, over 40. Okay? You're not done yet. We are just getting started. We are so valuable. There is so much inside of us that we can share with the younger generation. If the only thing that I ever do is share my knowledge with somebody who's coming after me, and I'm not talking about charging, I'm talking about, hey, what do you need to know? I'm going to tell you. Honestly, I feel like job well done. Job well done. Because why would I want somebody coming behind me to struggle? Why would I want that? I don't want anybody to struggle. If there's something that I know and you need to know it, child, you better ask. You better ask me because I promise I'm going to tell you. And it's not about selling courses. It's not about doing anything like that. Honestly, it's just about being in service to the next generation because that's what real community is about. I miss the times of real people getting together, sharing their knowledge, just being excited and happy to see one another. I mean, don't get me wrong, Instagram, YouTube, all the things that digital is great, but I miss those times when you would kind of get around a table and you would just kick ideas one person to another. You'd hear somebody struggle, and maybe you had an idea, or maybe you were just there to listen. These are the things that we need to start bringing back. In 2025, I don't know about y'all, but I'm definitely like, this is what I want to do. I want to be a change agent. I want to be the person that starts to put together different communities. Like, what do you know? Because you know something, and maybe somebody needs to know that. You are valuable, you are worthy. You know what you know, and don't let nobody tell you different. You can do anything, I promise you. You may feel like right now that life is just giving you a 1-2 punch, but I'm here to tell you it doesn't matter what it looks like, it doesn't matter what it feels like. You got it. When I'm feeling low, literally 45 minutes ago, I was in my car and I was almost on the verge of tears. But I said, no, Monique, no. And I had to tell myself, you are smart. You are courageous. You are a great speaker. You have to tell yourself what you want. If not, when your brain is idle, that's when all the negative thoughts will start rolling in. So when you have those moments, start speaking positivity to yourself. It's easy. It doesn't cost $100 million. No shade to people who are selling courses, but I'm being honest, right? If you need to pick me up, pick yourself up. Don't look for anybody else to pick you up. Don't. Because other people, they're not here to save you. I'm just saying. So I hope you thought that was, I just had to get that off my chest. I hope you got some value out of that. But I'm really feeling like this new year that's coming up, y'all, we got this. But we got to open our mouths. We got to be people, right, that are going to be change agents. We can't take these no's. We can't let adversity hold us down. If there's something truly that you want to do, you better do it because tomorrow is not promised to anyone. And I'm finding that out more and more and more. As I'm getting older, my circle of friends is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And I don't want to be the person that goes to my grave with regrets. I wish I would have. I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have done that. I want to be the person that, God forbid, if something happened, they would be like, that's Monique. She did X, Y, and Z. She did X, Y, and Z, and she did X, Y, and Z because that was her purpose. Every single person has a purpose. You have a purpose. You are not here by accident. Okay? So, whatever it is that you want to do, child, I'm telling you, you better do it. You better do it. I love you so, so, so much. And I pray that the rest of these days, before we get into 2025 and for the rest of 2024, that it's amazing because you're amazing too. All right. Bye.